try type thing, and I'm like, yeah, no, I want to redraw it because that was one of the first emotes that I drew, and I drew that with a mouse. That was like one of the first things I drew when I got back to drawing and stuff. And I'm like, I was really struggling because I don't have a scanner, and I was having issues with like scanning in or photographing in like drawings and stuff. I prefer to work off a template that I've pre-drawn on paper, and then I scan that in, and then I'll redraw it digitally one-to-one to the drawing and stuff. A lot of people just use it as like a rough draft, but I actually use it legitimately as the drawing. And I didn't have one for that, so the closest thing I could get for like figuring out the expression, because it'd been so long since I drew, was that. And yeah, I would rather redraw it, preferably. And then like added in. Plus, I don't have a lot of like emote slots to begin with. You have to consistently have like whatever your max number of subs are, you have to continue building on top of those numbers to keep unlocking subs. You don't magically unlock subs by hitting like 100, then going back down to 8, and then going to 20, and then going to like 12, and then 30 kind of thing. You have to, when you hit 100, you have to then hit like 110, 120, and it has to keep going up to keep unlocking the fucking things. So yeah. I don't have a lot unlocked, obviously, and I'm not too worried about it because I don't have to draw any if they're not unlocked. And yeah, I've got like written down ideas, but whenever I have to draw one, I have to do an art stream. So like I used to have a monthly art stream at the end of the month on the last Wednesday of the month, and it was a little bit stressful because like it would take me hours to draw. I'm not a very fast artist, which is also why like my live 2D avatar is taking so long. But like because I'm not a fast artist, like I could take like several hours to draw something, and I'm not as chatty during it and stuff. It's mostly just about like listening to music and hanging out and stuff, and seeing the process and shit. But yeah, it's still kind of a little stressful having people watch you, even though like I never know how many people are watching me or around and stuff. It's still the concept that somebody is there, and that it's not like, oh, I can just erase that if it's shit, you know, or start again, or I can get stuck on one line. Like you guys have seen me get stuck on a line for like a while. And the funniest thing is when I drew my starting screen image, I remember somebody came back and they're like, oh, I see you got like over trying to draw like a hand in, and you decided to just go without. And I'm like, no, her hand's still there. It's just behind her fringe. I like hid her fringe for a second, and she's got like a fully drawn hand behind her hair. And they were just like, what the shit? And I'm like, yeah, I couldn't figure out how to like just draw it like peeking out from her hair. So I just drew the whole hand. It was just easier, you know? But I'll do shit like that, and it's completely like useless and like time consuming and crap. And yeah, I don't know. It's useful for me. I don't know if I'm gonna want like something going through the center here, but maybe. Because we still need like electricity and crap. I don't get gifted subs combos often. Yeah, I get like stages of like gifted subs and stuff. I think it's like there's certain times where people do events and it's like common and stuff. That is how I find some creators though, which is neat, when I get like a random gift sub. Like I found somebody recently because I got gifted a gift sub, and I'm like, let me go see it, because I obviously like open up the, you know, the chat window and stuff like that, and I have a look at what the emotes are and stuff. But if I really like the emotes, or I like the style of like the artist or something like that, or the character being portrayed, I will definitely go check them out. And if I obviously like them as a streamer with that character or whatever, then yeah, I'll hang around and stuff. Not that I can afford fucking subs myself, but I'll still like hang out, and I'll still like watch and all that sort of stuff. Like I don't really mind. And yeah, occasionally I get like re-gifted the subs and stuff, and I'm like, sweet. And then like, you know, I'll spam the shit out of them for a while I've got them and stuff. But yeah, I don't know. I use my own a fair bit too. But also sometimes as I said, like if I start talking in somebody's stream, there's a good chance that it's just going to be like massive walls of text. I'm not even joking. Or like a question's like 1 or 2 lines or something like that, long, and then like every answer and response is like same kind of thing. So yeah, I'm either talking or I'm not, and I'm not really huge on just spamming people with emotes, because I used to also get it where somebody would come in and it's the very first time I've ever had them like chat, and all they'd ever do is like emote, 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 like a single emote that didn't make any sense to me to the conversation or response. And I'm like, I don't know what this person's doing, and I don't understand the conversation that they're trying to have. But all I keep getting is like emote spam kind of thing, and I'm like, I'd really just rather that either you like say something or like just redeem something or just lurk, because like I don't understand the conversation and it's more distracting than anything kind of thing, Also, Lauren kind of needs a spine, and I'm pretty sure we might have one. You got medical care. All right, let's go see if... Yeah, we do. All right. I don't know where the fuck she's off to, but I guess she's going to go get herself some food, which is kind of fun. And chimpanzees in a work frenzy. So I want to kind of install some of these fucking parts, because as you guys may have noticed, I have a lot of bionics and prosthetics and organs and shit available at the moment. I think I even have that in one of the other 2 hospitals. I've got some up here. And I have some down here. So, yeah. I got to get some of those installed too. And I don't know if that's right. That's okay. I could probably shove statues in this place. It's fine. And what else are we doing? We are going to be doing... I got to figure out the electrical stuff, but I've already got them set to make a few things. I do have to see if those connect though. Hang on. Because we've had it a couple of times where I haven't had a built electricity and I haven't had the fucking line beside it to connect to it. Also, my stomach is absolutely hating me for that food that I made. I'm like sitting here, I'm like, oh, it hates it. It does not like it at all. I may have like royally fucked up cooking that, so we'll see how we go with that. And I got to move these down too, as well. The option to get gifted subs and channels that I don't follow. So if I ever do find someone new to watch, like it's either through raids or accident, like I found you through a completely random YouTube recommendation via a video about a game I don't even like but decided to take a look. Hold on, wait a minute. You found me through a completely random YouTube recommendation video game that you don't even like. Isn't this for RimWorld though? You found me through this? Because I don't think you play RimWorld, do you? Because, yeah, I vaguely remember. It's been a while, but yeah, I fucking thought so. I thought that was so weird because you came in and you're like, I found you from this. And I'm like, cool, you must like RimWorld. And you're like, I fucking don't. I'm like, what am I supposed to say to that? Like, where's the conversation going here, But yeah, anyway, it's fine. It's hilarious. And now you and fucking Bez convinced me to fucking play projects on Boyd, so I guess everybody wins. So, yeah, it's good shit. So I'm gonna head. Big day. Sorry, my brain. It's a big day at work tomorrow. Catching up. Here's all again. No worries, fugitive. I won't be streaming for the rest of this week and most of next week. So I'll be back next Thursday, Friday. But I'll catch around whenever. Good luck with work. I found you through a RimWorld video, but not a fan of RimWorld. It's pretty funny how that worked out. Yeah, I had to question though, like, if you weren't a fan of RimWorld, what made you click on the video in the first place? Because, like, I'm not a huge fan of, like, games, it's like certain games and stuff, right? But if I don't like something or if I'm not interested in it, I generally won't kind of click on it, What was I doing? That's right, I moved those ones and I was checking if these ones are moved. That's fine. I need some warm clothes, hungry pan animals. There's a few hundred hungry pan animals. I'll tell you what, my English, my speaking is making questions about, like, if I can speak. Is there rocks up the top here? There sort of is, but they're not really in the way. I could technically put them on the other side of the fence. So, yeah, that actually could work. I'll make them down here. I wasn't going to put some like scented ones down, but I can't put those down here yet because I've got to move these, that's fine. But I will be able to put the whole row up here. But yeah, I'm always curious about this kind of stuff because, I don't know, like I know for a fact like YouTube has been like, oh wait, I gotta remove these rows. Hold on. I'm getting ahead of myself trying to put solar up here because I've got to move these down, then I've got to destroy that, which by the way, as soon as they pop this fence, we're going to have a problem here. Quest available. 15 advanced components for orbital beam targeter, tornado generator, which basically is nothing. Venometic power cell could be mint because I used to have one. I don't think I have one anymore actually, but that could be really useful. And also glitter world medicine would be great. This is not a bad thing, but I don't think I've got, oh no, fuck, I've got 15. Fuck, shit, we got stuff to spare. Where are we going? That's not that far. Okay, hold on. I could wait a little bit longer. We'll go for it, fuck it. That's funny enough. Never heard of this game before. I chose to watch because you kept popping up on my feed. Nice. I'm glad you decided to give me a try. Generally, it's pretty, like, chill here. Generally pretty calm, and I don't get, like, too... I don't get emotions. I get emotions, but I don't get much emotions and shit, so, like, yeah, I don't... Like, we don't have, like, a high up-down roller coaster of, like, sound and shit, generally. So, yeah. Generally just games, chill, lots of chatting, that kind of stuff. Games are kind of background noise for conversation mostly, although I am usually doing a thing. So, like with this colony, I'm trying to find a couple of people to send on a caravan that aren't like my main people, but I could send Labia and I could send just a couple of people just to carry some shit. Like, Lorina's never do anything. You know what? Dark Eye can go for a quest. Hold on. That's the right spelling for dark. It must be something else. He must go by something else. That's fine. To be honest to say is, maybe click on the video. Watching the fact was from a small creator, so when they clicked on it just to support a small creator. The events that followed took a completely different turn. Yeah, you went from lurker to actually conversational, so that was massive. But yeah, no. Actually, I found that one of the consistent things that I have with most of the people in my community is the fact that most people that only ever lurk find themselves wanting to participate in a conversation for the first time in my chats, which is nice. You know, it's just like, I don't know what I'm specifically doing that's causing people to want to feel inclined to respond, but it's nice if it's like invoking that and stuff and not in a like a hostile response kind of way, you know, when it's actually just you want to throw your 2 cents into the ring kind of thing, just for the sake of it, you know. Yeah, but yeah, I've also clicked on like a few small sort of creators as well and had a look, given a bit of a lurk and stuff like that, and just kind of like seeing what they're doing. Kind of got familiar with them. Where is Star? Because, like, you know, everybody fucking starts somewhere, you know, and yeah, even if you're not super fluent with the, like, lots of chitty chat, or you know, having a bad day and that's the day that people happen to see you and stuff, like, I kind of, like, subscribe to the notion of, like, give people a few chances. Like, you might click into them today and they're the most unhinged what the fuck, but you click on them like in a week's time or a couple of weeks' time, and that might be what they're normally actually like. Like, there's a couple of creators I've watched, big creators, that have gone for that front page stuff, and they're a completely different person on that day that they do the front page stuff. And I'm like, why wouldn't you just show what your normal content is like what people come in and enjoy? But again, I guess they want to have more energy, or that could be what their normal content is, and I just find them on their off days or something, you know. I just might vibe with them on their off days for all I know. But yeah, it's different for everybody. I'll send the 15, and I do want to, I know these guys are like tribal. I don't want to really send a lot of money, but I also would like to, well, I got other shit. We got clothes and crap that they could buy, so I don't know how much they could buy, but there's traders out there, and if I can carry it, we'll do the trade, and then we'll get rid of some of this fucking clothing, so that then I can have more space for fresh clothing, so that my people can swap out their tainted shit, or not tainted, you know, worn shit, for tattered apparel. That's the word that I'm looking for. They can swap that crap for something nicer that would get freshly made, and all this will just go. Although I have got tattered apparel in here, like actually tainted stuff, so I don't know where that's come from. But yeah, get rid of the hoodies. I think that's a talk thing. Just give me a hot second, guys. They're not gonna buy the tainted shit, but I can get rid of it. Like I can, like whatever I don't sell, I'll normally jettison from my caravan. Now I do have that bi-coated rocket launcher, which nobody is smelting, and I can jettison it on the way if I can remember to do that. So, okay, take all that shit. That should be plenty enough value to do a trade, and I've got the specific item that they want. So, food. Hold on a sec. Simple meals. It's not a lot of days worth of food, but I don't have any packaged survival meals because apparently all my cats been eating that. You're not taking the raw stuff, you're not taking the beds, although we could sell those. So there is that. That's an option. I guess you guys are just going to take fucking about 150 of these things and hope that they don't rot sooner. And it's also winter, so good luck with that, travels. Off they go. Anywho, they'll live, probably. Maybe. That peeps love to be seen and heard. I missed something. I like the vibes here. Well, thank you. I want to know the answer. Actually reading chat and responding to everyone. Yeah. I mean, the funniest thing is, like, I've had a few people say that, like, what I do is just like, I don't know, like, I don't quite know how to say it, but, like, I kind of do the things, but they come naturally to me kind of thing. So I don't really think about it, because, like, initially when I saw, like, the messages and stuff come through, I was like, oh, let me have a quick read of that. And I found, like, if I went quiet reading it, it stopped, like, me talking, thinking out loud about what I was doing in the game. It stopped the commentary. I kind of, like, paused and stuff. Whereas if I actually took the time to read it outside, like, there is a good chance I'll butcher the shit out of that sentence, but, or interpret it wrong. But on the odd chance that I don't completely fuck it up and read it and respond to it right, yeah, no, it's like I absorb the message. I kind of give you a voice that other people can listen to if they're not, like, paying attention to the screen, because I'm reading out a comment and stuff, which means that, like, you know, when it's on, like, YouTube or when you're watching a VOD back and stuff, like, you may not necessarily have all that, all the words and shit to be able to read, or you may just not want to read that shit yourself. And yeah, you can just chill out and do whatever the fuck you want. The other thing too is, like, I also kind of, like, I don't know, with lurkers and stuff, I went through, like, my turbulent stage of being like, oh, you know, I don't understand, like, lurking and stuff. And then I was like, you know, I try to raid out and I try to get everybody to, like, participate in raid messages. And, like, now I'm literally, like, forcing people out of lurking to do this. And I'm like, so stop doing that shit. And I was kind of like, you know, without being able to see who's here, without being able to see how many people are here either, like, I never know if anybody is here. I never know if anybody's coming and going. Like, you may not like what I'm saying and choose to, like, leave the stream midway through conversation. I'll never fucking know if you heard any of it or, like, how much of it and stuff. Like, I've got no way of knowing if anybody's here and how much you've seen or heard and stuff. So there is also, like, the freedom to come and go and just lurk, or, you know, have me on a second monitor or have me on your TV in the background and stuff. Like, I kind of aim for more just being background noise while you go about your life and stuff. If you feel like having a conversation, you're welcome to, but like, there's no fucking pressure for that. There's no pressure to redeem anything. There's no pressure to like be actively present and shit either as well. So yeah, if you want to just be here and you want to just lurk, you can. You want RimWorld music and conversation in the background, this is it. You know, and yeah, occasionally you can like look over and see what the fuck I'm up to, you know, if you want. Like, I think we've popped open the door because my animals are going for a run, which is interesting because that's not blocked. Hold on a second. What happens if I just hit no? Are they just going to go over the top of the solar? I thought so. Look at these fuckers. They're going for all the food that's outside. We didn't finish like building the solar there just yet, but this is fine. It takes you 3 to 5 business days to finish. Shut up. As you get to the next message, you're still gonna read, answer every single one. I have had a few people get like truly impatient though, which is interesting because like, you know, if you've ever been around, specifically when I play Diablo, I sometimes get up to like 9 or so chatters at one time, and I'm getting like a couple of line sentence at a time per person that I'm reading and responding to and stuff. And you know, by the time I get up to like somebody's conversation, I may be like, you know, delayed by like up to 10 minutes or something. But like, if you're going to ask a question or if you're going to put in a message and stuff, like I'm going to think about it, I'm going to respond, you know? So yeah, whether or not like it's immediate or not, like I will see it. Like usually if somebody comes in and they say hi in between me having a big conversation, I will normally acknowledge them because I don't want them to think that I'm just fucking ignoring them while I'm having a conversation, because like there's still more to be said clearly and I'll get to it and stuff. But in the meantime, like, yeah, I haven't not seen you, you know? But yeah, that's sometimes where you get me like, acknowledge people, like go back and forth between messages and stuff. But like, I've also kind of like adapted to the, like at some point conversations sometimes just progress too far and you have to kind of let go of like the messages that I've lost sort of thing. Like I'll often, if a stream was like really chaotic, I'll sometimes go back after stream and I'll rewatch it to see what messages I missed. And sometimes I'll miss like full like a person's conversation. I'm really like, I feel like shit because I'm like, that person probably thinks I was ignoring them and I really wasn't. I just never saw any of their fucking messages between everything else because I was like trying to respond to this and trying to like scroll back and, you know, stuff like that. But I also know that at some point in time, there will come a time, sometime in my streaming lifespan sort of thing, where I will have probably too much chatting going on to the point where I physically cannot keep up. Like, I know that my hard limit at the moment is about somewhere between 9 and 11 chatters, and then I start getting a massive delay, but I still respond and shit, and we still have conversations crap. But after that, I basically can only really read the most present conversations. I also have my chat window like really zoomed so I don't have to wear my glasses. So there is that too. So like, you know, when we get like raid messages and stuff like that, when people raid in, part of the reason why I don't do raid messages is because as a streamer, when everybody comes in, they are kind of like encircled in a large yellow box and to highlight that they're raiding in. So to have all this extra buffering between like the person's name, the sentence or whatever, and then like the next person, and there's only about like 4 or 5 people that will fit in my chat panel before they disappear, and then I can't see who was here. Like the only way I can know is like if like the first couple of people that came in happened to follow, and then I can tell who was here kind of thing without having to like manually scroll up. And depending on the game, I can't always scroll up. So yeah, that kind of slows me down a bit. But I do know that sometime eventually I'll probably get to a point where like I can't keep up with, you know, past chats and stuff like that, and I'll just have to kind of keep up with incoming chats and stuff. And yeah, that kind of sucks a little bit, but you know, at the same time, like I'll try to adapt. Like in a way, I sort of hope that it's kind of a slow enough progression that I can kind of adapt. That like I'm not like bombarded and stuff, because like I definitely get that sometimes, like I said, with like the Diablo chats. When we got really close to the end of my Kelly playthrough, I had like a lot of conversation all the time, and it made it really difficult to like keep up, especially while I was in like heated battles and shit and try not to die and stuff. So yeah, there were some messages like I interpreted wrong, there were some messages I didn't read properly, there was some like I didn't get to respond to at all. And I'm like, it's just like, it's a bit part and parcel with it. The thing is, like, after the stream ends and I get to read the rest of the messages, like, those people are already gone and they have no clue if I ever got to see their message or if they were being actively like ignored, which usually that's not the case. Crow's got the fucking plague again because Crow. And I have a trader, which should be the first of a couple of traders coming in here too. So let me go get Cypress. Can do this because he's awake. I know you're building a bed, mate, but can you come up here and do trade with them? I think I was going to trade the shirts, but since they're here, I'll see if there's other shit that I can trade with them, because I did call for a couple. Which ones are these? These are Western Farnham. They should be like purple, blue. We should be getting. They look like they kind of hate everyone. If they're on their own, that's fine. I do think I called for them though, so yeah, that's fine. I'll let them do what they're doing, and my people are like trying to build the solar. As soon as this row is finished, I'll get rid of the row behind it, and then I'll like use it and shit, because this connects that way and that one connects to that. So yeah. I'm not here, Sarah. In fact, I'm there. Terrible. You might even say that you were there, because by now you're probably not here, not there, but somewhere, and nobody knows quite where. So fucking hell, I'm just shaking my head at that. That's like a conversation with Grim right there. But yeah, I also need to get like floors and shit in here eventually, but since I've basically got like most of the walls, I feel like I should be comfortable to get rid of some of the things, you know. Is it over that way? Yeah, it's about right. Although if Jackal's still down south, it's technically down over there, you know. That's how Australia works. It's always just like, oh yeah, they're over that way, you know. Let's see, what can I sell you? To be honest, catering to everyone can become unrealistic and fast, so I don't even blame you if I miss a message. Yeah, no. I'll respond to that in a sec. Give me a sec to do this. I was going to be like, I'll get into a conversation, but I won't have brain power for this trade. And like, I just sent a bunch of shirts and I don't want them to be missing. And just give me 2 seconds. I could buy more meat, animals, chocolate, food. We want food. I don't want chem fuel, but I could sell them some chem fuel because I have a fuck ton. So we always have that as a resource now. I don't want to sell in the leathers. I have a lot of steel. I could technically buy more steel. I don't want reinforced barrels. I've got a lot of books. Sure. Buy them a couple of books. I don't have beer. All the hats, all the clothing is accounted for. It's going out in a trade. I do think I sent these to somewhere. I think I'm installing those. They can have these fucking masterwork friggin' bedrolls that we made to move. And I don't know where that is, that's not installed, but I'll have to go have a look. And I've made some crappy statues that they can have. I can sell these. It's going to get me like a fuck ton of money. Any one of these will do me good money. So you can take the limestone table, armchair. I don't want to give you a silver one. You can have the masterwork chair. That'd be right. I was going to put it in somebody's bedroom. Silver billiard stuff. I'd rather remove it myself. So that's going to give us quite a lot of money. If I just don't get the couple of animals, because like, it's just like, they're going to get auto-culled, right? So neither here nor there for that. So we'll grab that. They'll give me a bit of money and they'll give me a bit of food. And we can basically tell them to fuck off in a hot second. So hang on a ticket. Where are you guys gone? Up here, Cypress. Can you tell them to leave? And we'll start bringing shit in. Fucking shows up. Give pats to me. Yeah. I will if he does. No, I understood what you said. I just did that full sentence. Like, the funniest thing is sometimes, like, if people, like, don't, like, fully, like, spell out a word or, like, a few words get fucked up, I still, like, read it just fine. And then all it is, like, I'm really bad at, like, fucking figuring out names. That's, like, my biggest issue. I might get you all that after you sleep, if I can. What else? I tried to, like, dismiss that, then that's fine. I'll see if we can get them to bring this shit in. So yeah, the catering to everyone, unrealistic and fast stuff. So I don't try to cater to anybody. I try to just exist as myself. I'm very far beyond, like, giving a fuck if, like, people are cool with me and stuff. I'm kind of like, I know that not everybody is gonna like me. I know that not everybody's gonna like what I do. Like, I sometimes get people that come in and they're like, you know, you don't have to read everything I say and stuff. And I'm like, too fucking bad. Tough titties, you walked into this chat, so it's gonna happen, you know. I also have people, obviously, I always get like the, you know, as a VTuber, it's like, oh my god, you're so cringe and stuff. And it's like, dude, I'm just existing. Just calm down. I'm not even doing anything. I'm just existing. It's fine. I'm not sitting here doing like the U word and everything else and like putting on a voice and living out a life and stuff. Like, not that there's problems with that, but like, you know, I'm not specifically like doing something, I don't know, extra cutesy, kind of like embarrassing, bashful kind of behavior. Something I would be embarrassed to do, which is why those things end up in the like the paid for redeems, by the way, because I'm embarrassed to do them. And I will do them if you guys want me to, but like, I'm not gonna do it for fucking free. But like, yeah, like, some people get upset. I don't know what the like mentality behind it kind of is. I just don't understand it. I haven't spent that much time in and around like the streaming communities and stuff like that, perhaps to fully understand the logic or the impatience of like not having a message responded to and stuff. Like, you know, like, I'm pretty good at like responding to most things. Like, you know, I'll respond to my YouTube comments,